Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or someone who's just starting out in numismatics, today's video is for you. We're diving deep into one of the most iconic US coins, the Jefferson nickel. But just any Jefferson nickel. We're talking about the Monticello design, which has been in circulation since 1938. In this video, we'll explore the 1957, 1972, 1962, 1981, and 1961 Monticello Jefferson nickels, their different mint marks, and how their condition can impact their value today. So let's jump right into it. Make sure to stick around till the end for a big surprise on which coin is currently fetching the highest value in the market. Let's go. Starting first up, we'll dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're talking about a humble piece of pocket change that could be worth far more than just 5 cents. The 1957 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. Could you be holding a fortune in your coin? The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. coinage since its introduction in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin features Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his home Monticello on the reverse. The 1957 nickel without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia, and millions were struck. So what's the big deal about a 1957 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark? Well, while this coin is the rarest out there, certain factors like its condition, grading, and historical significance can make it quite valuable to collectors. In fine condition, the 1957 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel can still hold a premium over its face value. Grading plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. In fine condition, the details of Jefferson's hair in Monticello are moderately worn but still visible. While as valuable as higher grades like mid-state, these coins can sell for a few dollars well above their 5-cent face value. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What's the market value of a 1957 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in fine condition today? On average, these coins are valued between $2,500 depending on demand and buyer interest. If you've got a 1957 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in uncirculated or proof condition, the value. Some examples have sold for $30,000 to $100,000 or more in online auctions. Rare coin, like double die strikes or off-center designs, can fetch hundreds of dollars. The year 1957 was smack in the middle of America's post-war boom. These nickels circulated widely, paying for everything from movie tickets to meals at diners. Finding one in decent condition today is like holding a little piece of American history in your hand. So, there you have it. The 1957 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel make you a millionaire. But it's a fascinating coin that could still bring in a nice little profit, especially if you find one in great condition or with an error. Who knows? Your pocket change might be hiding a treasure. Next up today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1972 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. In very fine condition. Could this humble coin in your collection be worth big bucks in today's market? Let's find out. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic home Monticello on the reverse. The 1972 version, minted over 3 decades after its debut, may seem like just another coin at first glance. But the absence of a mint mark in its historical context makes it special. If you examine your coin closely and don't see a mint mark on the obverse, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Unlike Denver or San Francisco, which used the D and S mint marks, Philadelphia's coins from this era often lacked any designation. While millions of 1972 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickels were minted in Philly, their condition plays a huge role in their market value today. In coin collecting, condition is king. A 1972 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in very fine condition shows moderate wear but retains sharp details. You should still be able to see Jefferson's hair and Monticello's details. How much is a 1972 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark worth today? In very fine condition, this coin is typically valued at around $200,000. Yes, slightly above face value. If your coin exhibits unique features like rare die errors or pristine preservation, it could fetch significantly more, sometimes upwards of $2,500,000 for certain varieties. The 1972 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark make you an overnight millionaire. But it's a fascinating piece of history that can be worth more than face value if you play your cards right. Go check your change jar. You never know what treasures. Next up today's video, we'll dive deep into one of the most iconic coins of the 20th century, the 1962 Jefferson nickel. But we're talking about the elusive and highly sought-after 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition, without any mint mark. So grab a seat and let's uncover the fascinating story and value of this coin in today's market. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, designed by artist Felix Schlag. It features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and Monticello, his home, on the reverse. The 1962 issue was minted during a time when the United States was recovering from the post-war years, and these coins were widely circulated across the country. But did you know that the 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is one of the more intriguing examples from this series? Before we dive into the value, let's talk about the mint mark. For most coins, the mint mark indicates where it was produced. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. But what's especially fascinating about the 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and it wasn't marked with a mint letter, as was typical for that facility during that era. So, if you have a 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, you have a coin that was produced in Philadelphia but not officially stamped with the mint's location. This small detail makes a difference when it comes to rarity and value. Now let's talk about condition. The term extra fine refers to a specific grade on the coin's condition scale. Coin collectors grade coins on a scale from poor to perfect mint state. A coin in extra fine condition shows a lot of details, but there's some wear, especially on the high points of the design. For the 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel, this means that the coin is still in fantastic shape, with clear features on both the obverse and reverse. The Monticello on the reverse, for instance, should have strong lines, with the building itself still well defined, but showing minor signs of wear. Comparing an extra fine 1962 nickel with one in a lower grade, like fine or very fine, you'll notice more wear on the details, especially around Jefferson's hair and the windows on Monticello. A coin in extra fine condition is much more desirable to collectors because of its better preservation. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question. What is the value of a 1962 Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition today? In general, most 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickels are not particularly rare or valuable. They were mass-produced, and even in good condition, they're often worth only 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel cents. However, the key here is the grade and the lack of a mint mark. If you have an extra fine 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, it's much rarer and can fetch a significant price. Based on recent market trends, a 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition, without a mint mark, can be valued anywhere between $30,000 and $100,000, depending on its exact condition and where it's sold. But here's the kicker: coins in this grade, when sold to the right buyer or at the right auction, have sometimes fetched even higher prices, especially in cases where the coin is graded by a trusted third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. The value can also rise if the coin is part of a larger, high-quality collection. But what makes this 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel really stand out is its rarity in higher grades. Coins like this in extra fine condition are not always easy to come by. So if you're lucky enough to find one, it's certainly worth taking the time to assess its value properly, possibly even getting it graded if you believe it's in pristine condition. The value of a 1962 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition can range from on average, but it could be higher in certain markets. If it's graded by a professional service, the value could potentially be much more, depending on the demand. So always keep an eye on the current market trends and consider having your coins professionally graded for an accurate valuation. Next up, today's video is just for you. We're diving deep into the 1981 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel, particularly the versions with the P mint mark. While many might think that these coins are just ordinary pieces of change, they might be sitting on a hidden value that could surprise you, especially if they're in bad condition. We'll discuss the history behind the coin, how the condition affects its value, and why the 1981 Jefferson nickel is more valuable today than you might think. Make sure to stay till the end, as I'll reveal how much these coins can fetch on the market right now. Before we get into the details of the 1981 edition, let's take a step back and appreciate the history of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first issued in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag, and features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse. On the reverse, the coin displays Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia home. This design has been iconic for decades. The 1981 Jefferson nickel was part of the ongoing production series, and its reverse still features Monticello. You might think of it as just another coin in circulation. Some versions of this nickel have earned a place in the numismatic world for their rarity and potential value, especially if they were minted in specific years or under unusual conditions. The 1981 Jefferson nickel is one of the rarest years, but that's what makes it interesting. The P mint mark on this coin means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is a significant detail for collectors. Normally, coins from the Philadelphia Mint don't carry a mint mark, but in 1981, the mint decided to use a P on the Jefferson nickels due to a change in the minting process. Now, if you happen to have a 1981 P nickel in bad condition, don't worry. Even coins that are heavily worn, scratched, or discolored have market value today. In fact, there's a huge market for these bad condition coins as long as they are authentic and are from certain years like 1981. They fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars, but some still sell for more than their face value, especially in auctions or through coin dealers. When we talk about bad condition in coin collecting, we're usually referring to coins that have been heavily circulated. These coins might have visible scratches, fading of the design, or significant wear on both the obverse and reverse sides. You might think that such coins are only worth a few cents, but this isn't always the case, especially when we talk about a coin like the 1981 P nickel. Coins with visible signs of wear but still in recognizable condition may be graded as good or very good. If the coin is even more worn down, it might be graded as fair or poor. These bad condition coins still hold value for collectors who are interested in filling gaps in their collections or investing in something with a historical background. In poor or worn condition, the 1981 P Jefferson nickel in bad condition might be worth around $2,500,000, depending on its circulation and appeal to collectors. It's worth more than its face value simply due to the year and mint mark. These coins are particularly sought after by collectors working on completing their sets. In better but not mint condition. If your 1981 P nickel has more readable details with just light wear, you could potentially see prices ranging from $2,100,000. In nearly perfect condition, coins in near mint condition or uncirculated coins could fetch higher prices, sometimes reaching $2,500,000 or more, although these are rarer finds. Keep in mind, collectors value coins based on their historical significance and rarity, meaning even bad condition coins can have a market if they are from an important year, like the 1981 edition. It's important to remember that the condition of the coin will play a significant role, and sometimes a heavily worn coin can still be sold for a reasonable amount if it's in demand. Always make sure to do your research before selling a coin. Compare prices on auction sites and consult with experts to ensure you're getting a fair deal. Next up today, we're diving into a rare and fascinating topic: the 1961 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel, especially the one that comes without a mint mark. If you've ever wondered about the value of this iconic coin in fine condition, the Monticello Jefferson nickel, introduced in 1938, features the famous portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and Monticello, his Virginia home, on the reverse. These coins are an essential part of American numismatic history and have been a favorite among collectors for decades. However, not all Jefferson nickels are created equal. While the design has remained mostly unchanged, the year 1961 stands out for a few very important reasons, especially when it comes to the 1961 nickel without a mint mark. Mint marks are key identifiers for coins, telling us where they were produced. The 1961 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel could either have a D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver, or an S mint mark for coins made in San Francisco. But there's one more thing that makes the 1961 nickel unique. Some of them were produced without any mint mark at all. Now, you might be wondering, why does that matter? Well, here's the deal. In 1961, certain production runs of the Jefferson nickel came from the Philadelphia Mint, and those coins were stamped with a mint mark. These are the ones that tend to get a lot of attention from collectors. Now let's talk about what we mean by fine condition. Coins are graded based on their wear and tear, and in the world of numismatics, even slight differences in condition can lead to huge variations in value. A 1961 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel in fine condition typically shows moderate wear. On the obverse, Jefferson's facial features are visible, but they are slightly worn. The reverse side, depicting Monticello, should still show some detail, though the structure may be less sharp than when the coin was first minted. It's a coin with a history, a piece of the past that still holds plenty of charm for collectors. For a nickel in fine condition, you can expect it to be valued somewhere in the range of $30,000 to $100,000. Now, this might sound modest at first, but keep in mind that coin values fluctuate based on market demand, rarity, and overall interest in the coin. However, the 1961 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark can sometimes fetch higher values depending on several factors. For example, if the coin is particularly well preserved, or if it has been certified by a professional grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or Professional Coin Grading Service, it could be worth more, sometimes up to $3,500,000, especially if it's in higher grades. Now, you may be asking, why should you care about this particular coin? Why does the simple lack of a mint mark make it so valuable? Well, the answer lies in its rarity. While the minting process at the time was largely consistent, these Philadelphia-struck coins without mint marks are more scarce than their Denver and San Francisco counterparts. This scarcity, combined with the coin's iconic design and historical significance, is what draws collectors to it. In the world of numismatics, the 1961 no-mint mark nickel is one of those treasures that can surprise you with its value, especially if you're lucky enough to have one in great condition. So there you have it, the 1961 5-cent Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, one of the hidden gems in the world of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin could add some real value to your collection. Remember, coin values change over time, and condition matters more than you might think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on coin collecting tips, rare finds, and market updates. Let us know in the comments if you found a 1961 no mint mark nickel in your collection, or if you've seen any interesting coins lately. Until next time, happy collecting!